The question of how media producers categorise audiences is a fairly common one on the EDUQAS Media Studies paper. Last year, 2022, they asked it in relation to water aid. For the purposes of this little video, I'm going to talk about it in relation to Late Night Woman's Hour, the BBC's spin-off of its long-running daily magazine show, Woman's Hour. Remember, this is a text that was originally broadcast, I think it was about 11 o'clock at night, on BBC Radio 4, a station that traditionally appeals to an audience who are ABC One. We're looking at 45 plus, possibly even 55 plus, an audience demographic that definitely skews older. Now, in this particular episode that I'm going to be talking about, it was first broadcast in July 2019, and in this extract, host Emma Barnett was discussing ITV's reality show Love Island with 3 guests. So let's have a think if we're approaching this question of how media producers categorise audiences. The first thing we've got to say, of course, is they categorise them through gender. Now, make that your overview point, and then you can home in on the specifics. In this case, a female audience is categorised. We know this by the subject matter, by the guests, and of course there's a bit of a clue in the title, Late Night Woman's Hour. How else are audiences categorised? Well, they're categorised by ethnicity. In this particular example, we can look at the diverse range of guests that the BBC have assembled for the purposes of this discussion. So we have 3 female journalists, Yomi Adegoke, Sing Sing from Vice magazine, and I think she's Danish comedian Sophie Hagen. So we have a range of ethnicities, which is likely to appeal to a wide range of ethnicities amongst the audience. We've also got to talk about how audiences are categorised by age. Again, in this particular show, the subject matter is Love Island, not the kind of thing that they're naturally predisposed to discussing on the daytime edition of Woman's Hour. How else are audiences categorised? In this case, they're categorised by the mode of address. One of the first things we hear said about Love Island, it is a show in which people are able just to be, and I quote, dicks. This kind of informal mode of address, together with terms like gaslighting, is definitely designed to appeal to an audience who skew young. We're looking at a 25 plus audience. How else are they categorised then? We've got gender, we've got age, we've got ethnicity, we've got mode of address, we've got subject matter. All of these things are likely to give this particular show an appeal to its audience. And remember, what the BBC are aiming to do here is take the Woman's Hour brand and make it appeal to an audience that stretches beyond the traditional older, white, middle class, ABC One, middle-aged, middle-class demographic that Woman's Hour has traditionally appealed to. So there's a few examples. I'll link down below to the particular episode. It's about 20 minutes long, really worth listening to, and gives you some excellent evidence to support your answers if the exam board decide to ask us about Late Night Woman's Hour. See you soon.